Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing U.S. tourist visas for Thai nationals. So this is going to be kind of a Thailand-specific video, and the reason is I was recently reading in the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com, there's an article titled Pattaya Legal Corner, Why Do Some Tourist Visa Applications by Thais Fail? And I want to be clear, this was a really great article. I hope those who are watching this video go read that article. Again, pattayamail.com, Pattaya Legal Corner, Why Do Some Tourist Visa Applications by Thais Fail? I'd also like to preface this by saying this article seemed to be kind of a broad article. It looked to me like it was looking primarily at UK and EU applications, but it kind of mentioned the US as well, and it was kind of broadly talking about tourist visas. So there were just a few things in here that I thought needed at least some clarification specific to United States tourist visas. Quoting directly, our experience is that embassies or their privatized partners are very keen on the reasons why a vacationing Thai will return to Thailand at the end of the holiday. Ownership of property in Thailand is seen as useful. I'll get back to that in a minute. As is a secured job here with abundant proof of income and the permission of the employer to take a break. Again, I'll get back to that. Thai bank accounts need to show the applicant is not living on a shoestring. Embassies tend to be suspicious of a one-off payment in a bank account which has been made by a third party. All of that is true so far as it goes. But here's where a little bit of clarification is in order. A lot of folks in U.S. tourist visa context think that these are the primary factors with respect to a U.S. tourist visa being issued to a Thai national through the U.S. Embassy here in Bangkok. I would say that yes, they factor in, and for those who are unaware, pursuant to Section 214B of the Immigration Nationality Act, the consular officer interviewing an applicant for a U.S. tourist visa must find that that applicant has, quote-unquote, strong ties to their home country, in this case Thailand, or a third country, some other country, which, in my opinion, it's kind of difficult to prove that if you're a third country national applying in another country. It kind of operates against what you're going for, but let's leave that aside. We're talking ties here in Thailand. So, strong ties to your home country and weak ties to the United States. And the weak ties part is what's often overlooked because people are kind of concerned with job documentation, bank documentation, property, etc., etc. Oftentimes, I find this stuff is, I'm not going to say it's totally overlooked, but okay, it is what it is. And the interviewing officer says, yeah, that's great. We see that you have strong ties to Thailand. But do you have weak ties to the United States? And this is often where the rubber hits the road, especially where it comes to a denial with respect to a U.S. tourist visa application. And what we're talking about here, to be specific, is, so oftentimes we see this where we're dealing with spouses of U.S. citizens. You know, the marriage itself can operate as mitigation against a weak tie. You know, a fiance of an American citizen, again, it operates against being a weak tie to the United States. Now, those that are going to the U.S. just primarily for tourism purposes and that don't have any relations with anybody in the United States, those may not be issues. But there may be other issues that come up. So, long story short, while I do find that this article was useful sort of on its face, it didn't really drill down, especially with respect to U.S. And I think the reason for this is it was primarily geared toward EU and UK. And I know in those jurisdictions, we don't really deal with a lot of that. In those jurisdictions, it's much more on point for what this article was saying. But for the U.S., there's sort of an extra layer associated with this weak ties analysis under Section 214B that you need to watch out for.